Stop for a moment and feel the vibration of the air, the chaotic static, the noise of breaking chains, and the scream of rebellion that dominated your week have ceased. A golden and vertical silence descends upon the earth. Today, welcome to the 1212 portal. In the sacred geometry of the universe, the number 12 is not just a digit, it is the completion code. 12 months, 12 signs, 12 hours. The 12 represents the full circle. If the last days were about the deconstruction of your old self through shock, today is about the crystallization of your new self through light. The surgery is over. The golden healing begins now. You didn't arrive at this date by chance. Everything you lost, everything that hurt, and everything you had the courage to cut in 2025 was preparing the empty space to receive the frequency descending today. This is the last great numerical alignment of the year. It is the moment the universe looks at your journey and says, "It is done." You are no longer a work in progress, full of flaws. Under the light of this portal, you are graduating. The hardest karmic lessons have been learned. The door of the past locks hermetically behind you, and the door of the future opens effortlessly in front of you. You are entering the golden timeline, where struggle gives way to glory. To anchor this frequency of completeness, warn your spirit that the lesson has been learned and that you are ready to receive your divine inheritance. Leave the final seal registered. Write in the comments, "I am complete." To comprehend the potency of what is happening in the sky and in your spirit today, you must first understand the mathematics of God. In sacred numerology, the number 12 is not just a count. It is the architecture of perfection. We have 12 signs in the zodiac, 12 months in the year, 12 hours in the day, and 12 hours in the night. The 12 represents the full circle. It is the point where the serpent bites its own tail, not to devour itself, but to signal that the lesson has been learned in its entirety. Today, under the 1212 portal, you reach the omega point of your 2025 journey. Look back for an instant. Look at who you were in January of this year. Can you even recognize that person? That version of you, although full of hope, was naive. It carried weights that weren't its own. It accepted crumbs. It was afraid to say no. It walked with a blindfold. Over the last 12 months, the universe dismantled that version piece by piece. Every crisis you faced, every dark night of the soul, every loss, and every moment of confusion were not accidents along the way. They were stages of a rigorous rite of passage. You thought you were being punished. Today, the 1212 portal reveals the truth. You are being sculpted. Marble needs to lose pieces of itself for the statue to appear. The pain you felt was the divine's chisel, removing the excess of ego, fear, and illusion, covering your real essence. Today, the chisel stops. The sculptor puts down the tool and steps back to admire the work. The work is you. This chapter marks the end of repetition. Many people live in vicious circles. They pass point 12 and go back to 1, committing the same mistakes, falling into the same holes, dating the same people with different faces. This is karmic hell, the eternal return of the same. But the 1212 portal offers something superior, the ascending spiral. When you complete the circle with consciousness, when you integrate the shadow, as we did with Lilith, and awaken to the truth, as we did with Uranus, you don't go back to the start, you go up an octave. You start the next cycle on a completely different level of the game. Feel the weight lifting off your shoulders now. The physical sensation of this portal is one of graduation. You know that deep relief of handing in the final exam, leaving the classroom, and knowing that vacation has started? That is what your soul is feeling. The exam of 2025 has been handed in. There is nothing left to study, nothing to correct, nothing to review. What is done, and it was enough. You no longer need to carry guilt for the things that didn't work out this year. The things that went wrong were, in fact, deliverances. The doors that closed in your face were locked by the hand of God to stop you from entering places too small for your new size. Everything served the purpose of the 12, completeness, except the divine order of the chaos you lived. The full circle means no loose ends remain. Hurt was transmuted into wisdom. Loss was transmuted into vacant space for the new. Loneliness was transmuted into sovereignty. You are standing at the top of the year's mountain, looking down. The view is clear. The air is clean. Breathe deep and declare the end of the war against your own history. You survived the crossing. The cycle has closed, and you are whole. After completing the circle and accepting the perfection of the chaos that brought you here, you enter the second stage of this portal, the phenomenon of crystallization. To understand what is happening in your body and your life today, visualize the process of diamond formation. All last week, and perhaps all of 2025, you were under crushing pressure. The Uranus opposition, the Saturn square, the eclipses, the losses. All of that was the weight of the earth compressing your spirit. Often you thought you would break. You thought you would turn to dust. But today, under the vertical light of the 1212 portal, the quantum physics of your soul reveals the result of that pressure. You didn't turn to dust, you turned into crystal. The theme now is irreversible solidity. Until yesterday, your new identity, the black sheep, the sovereign, the voice of truth, still seemed like an attempt. It seemed like something fragile you needed to hold on to tightly, not to lose. You were afraid of slipping back into old habits. Today, the universe pours a golden resin over this new structure. The concrete has hardened. You will feel a shift in your emotional stability. What triggered you last week, family criticism, the ex's silence, financial instability, hits you today and makes a different sound. It no longer makes the dull thud of something wounding soft flesh. It makes the metallic sound of something hitting armor. You didn't become insensitive, you became structured. Crystallization means that the change ceased to be a state of mind, which changes with mood, to become a state of being, which is unalterable. The truth you spoke on Thursday cannot be unspoken. The cut you made on Tuesday cannot be sewn up. The bridge was burned, and in its place, a mountain was born. There is no going back, and the realization that there is no going back stops being scary to become your greatest security. The past is locked. The only possible direction is expansion. On this 12/12 day, the universe is doing the final upload of your new architecture. You will notice that your preferences have changed definitively. Things you tolerated are now physically repulsive to you. Places you used to go now seem like sets from an old bad movie. This rejection of the old is not judgment. It is vibrational incompatibility. A crystal cannot mix with mud without losing its shine, so it naturally moves away. Thank the pressure. Thank the nights you cried, thinking you wouldn't make it. It was that specific pressure that organized the atoms of your character into this new, perfect geometry. Without the weight, you would still be coal. Today you shine not because the sun is hitting you, but because you have become a source of light refraction. Assume your new density. You're a rock in the middle of the current. The world can spin. People can freak out. The economy can fluctuate, but you remain. Your peace is no longer negotiable. Your truth is no longer flexible. What was done in the 1212 portal is sealed in the records of time. You are no longer who you were. And the best part is, you will never need to be again. After completing the karmic circle and crystallizing your new identity, the 1212 portal begins its most invasive and sublime process, the biological upgrade. We are not just talking about spiritual metaphors. We are talking about tangible, physical sensations. We call this stage the light download. At this exact moment, your physical body is trying to catch up to the speed of your spirit. You have already changed your mind, Saturn or Mercury, and already changed your emotional frequency, Uranus or Lilith. But flesh is dense. Matter is slow. For your body to inhabit this new golden timeline without collapsing, it needs to undergo an intense cellular recalibration, and that is exactly what you are feeling today. The first classic symptom of this portal is the frequency buzz. You might notice a high-pitched, thin, constant sound in your ear, especially on the right side, or a sensation of sudden pressure as if you were changing altitude in an airplane. Don't run to the doctor thinking it's a hearing problem, unless it persists and hurts, of course. Energetically, this is the sound of tuning. Imagine you are an old radio that was tuned to an AM station full of hiss and static, your old life. The universe is turning the dial to a high-definition FM station. The buzz you hear is the interval between stations. It is the sound of your own vibration going up an octave. The second symptom is thermal fluctuation. You might feel waves of sudden heat rising up your spine, even if the day is cold. Or conversely, chills that have no external cause. This is your central nervous system processing a higher voltage of light than it is used to carrying. Ancients called this Kundalini fire, or spirit fire. It is vital energy burning the residue of trauma that got lodged in your nerves. The heat is the friction of light cleaning the channels. The third symptom is third eye pressure. You might feel a slight headache, located specifically in the center of the forehead, between the eyebrows. It is not a common migraine, it is a pulsation. This happens because your pineal gland, your intuition's biological antenna, is being activated to the max. The light download brings packages of information, insights, and visions of the future that are being inserted into your consciousness. The pressure is the sign that the spiritual broadband is fully occupied receiving data. Many people get scared by these symptoms. They think they are sick or that something is wrong. The ego, which loves control, panics when the body starts vibrating at an unknown frequency. It tries to medicate the symptom, sedate the body, or distract the mind to stop the process. Do not do this. Do not block the download. The instruction for navigating now is hydration and silence. Water is the best conductor of electricity there is. Your body needs water to facilitate the passage of this new current of light without frying the circuits. Drink more water today than you drank all week. Visualize the water lubricating your energetic channels. And seek silence. The download requires mental bandwidth. If you are consuming digital trash, gossip, or excessive noise, you create interference in the signal. The universe is trying to deliver the coordinates of your 2026. If the line is busy with the drama of 2024, the message doesn't arrive. Turn everything off. Sit or lie down. Close your eyes and give conscious permission for the process. I accept this upgrade. My body is a safe conductor for the light. You might feel sudden exhaustion in the middle of the day. Respect it. It is like when your phone warns, updating system, do not turn off. Your body needs to go into rest mode to install the soul's new software. Do not fight sleep. It is during today's sleep that deep integration happens. The light download is not a sickness, it is a promotion. You are ceasing to be a dense human being, guided by fear and survival, to become a luminous human being, guided by intuition and presence. The physical discomfort is temporary, the upgrade is permanent. Let the body shake, let the ear buzz, let the spine heat up. It is just the dust of the old house being shaken to make room for the golden furniture. Now that your body is processing the light download, your consciousness expands to perceive the 1212 portal's strangest and most powerful phenomenon, the alteration of your temporal perception. In ancient mysticism, this moment is known as the 12th hour. Look at an analog clock. The number 12 is at the top. It represents the end of a cycle, 12 p.m., and simultaneously, the exact beginning of the next, 12 a.m. It is the 0 point, it is the threshold where yesterday and tomorrow touch and merge into a single instant of now. Today, you are not living in linear time, that dragging time of the clock and calendar where you have to wait months to see the results of your actions. Today, you entered vertical time. What does this mean in practice? It means the collapse of delay. You will feel a dizzying sensation that time is running too fast, or paradoxically, that it has stopped completely. The distance between thinking and happening has shrunk drastically. In normal times, there is a buffer, a safety interval between your thought and its materialization in reality. You plant the seed and wait for the season to change. In the 12th hour, that interval disappears. Thought turns into thing almost instantly. Karma, action, and reaction is immediate. This is a divine power, but also an immense danger for those without mental discipline. If you think with fear today, fear materializes quickly. If you think with sovereignty, the solution appears quickly. The universe removed the delay from the transmission. You will experience strong moments of déjà vu today. You will enter a conversation or look at a landscape and feel an absolute certainty that you have lived that before. This is not a glitch in your memory. It is a glitch in the linear time matrix. As you are positioned at the top of the clock, at 12, you can see the whole circle. You are accessing what we call memory of the future. Your soul has already lived your 2026. It already knows who you became. It already knows which battles you won. And today, through this open portal, it is sending these memories back to your now self. Hope is when you think something might happen. Memory of the future is when you know it already happened, and you are just waiting for the body to get there. This perception generates spiritual urgency. You might feel an internal rush, a feeling that it's late or that I need to do this now. The ego interprets this as anxiety. I'm getting old. I'm losing time. The spirit knows this is alignment. The rush you feel is your soul running to merge with the version of you that already exists in the golden timeline. It is not anxiety, it is gravity. You are being pulled toward your best version. The practical instruction for the 12th hour is live the end in the beginning. Since time collapsed, you can no longer afford to wait to become. When I have money, I will be generous. No, be generous now, and money will come by the law of frequency. When I find love, I will be happy. No, be happy now, and love will find your frequency. When I am recognized, I will be confident. No, act with sovereign confidence now, and recognition will be inevitable. In the 12th hour, cause and effect are reversed. The state of being, effect, generates reality, cause. You need to wear the skin of your 2026 self today. How does that version of you walk? How does it speak? What does it eat? What does it tolerate? Start acting in that character now, not as fake theater, but as an anticipation of reality. If you want to be a leader, lead your life today. If you want to be prosperous, stop having scarcity conversations today. The portal is open, and the universe is taking a photograph of your vibration this exact second to print your next year. What you are vibrating in the 12th hour will be the theme of your next 12-month cycle. Beware of nostalgia today. Nostalgia is the attempt to live at number 6, the past, the bottom of the clock, when the hand is already on 12. Looking back now is against the portal's physics. The past is dead. What you lived until yesterday was just the rough draft. The final work begins to be written now. Accelerate, not with the rush of fear, but with the speed of light. Feel the vertigo of knowing that everything is happening at the same time. You are the past that learned, the present that acts, and the future that has already won, all gathered in a single point of consciousness. You are not waiting for the future to arrive. The future is waiting for you to realize that it is already here. The clock struck. It is noon in your soul. Wake up. Cap 5. The vertical alignment. While time collapses and the body processes light, you are called to make the most important course correction of this portal. The shift from the horizontal axis to the vertical axis. Most people live their entire lives trapped in horizontality. Horizontal life is the life of circumstances. It is looking sideways. It is worrying about what the neighbor is doing, what the economy is saying, what the feed is showing. It is the life of comparison, competition, and interpersonal drama. In the horizontal, energy is dispersed. You are pulled left and right, stretched until you tear. It is the realm of noise. The 1212 portal opens an escape channel from this matrix. It invites you to verticality. Vertical alignment is the direct, straight, and unbreakable connection between the center of the earth, your roots, and the center of the universe, your source. Imagine a pillar of white light crossing the top of your head, descending down your spine, and anchoring in the ground. Nothing crosses this pillar. Nothing interferes with this line. Today, your task is to stop looking sideways. If the world outside is screaming, if people are panicking, if the political or financial scenario is unstable, do not look sideways. Look up and look within. The answer you seek will not come from the news, horizontal. It will come from intuition, vertical. The security you seek will not come from others' approval, horizontal. It will come from your connection with the divine, vertical. When you are vertically aligned, you become immune to horizontal chaos. Imagine a cross. The world is the lying bar, suffering. You are the standing bar, transcendence. You are in the world, but not of the world. Horizontal storms may hit you, but since you are a vertical pillar, they just pass around. You do not fall. This alignment requires discipline. Your ego, addicted to drama, will want to know the gossip, will want to join the fight, will want to compare itself. Bring it back to the center. Ask yourself all day, is this horizontal noise or is it vertical truth? If it is noise, ignore it. If it is truth, integrate it. You are a cosmic antenna today. If the antenna is crooked, seeking a signal in others' confusion, you will only pick up static. If the antenna is straight, pointed at your stellar origin, you will pick up the symphony, straighten your spine. Your dialogue today is not with men. It is with the eternal. After completing the circle, crystallizing the change, receiving the light, collapsing time and aligning vertically, you reach the final destination of this journey. The fork in the road. Before your feet, at this exact moment, reality splits into two distinct paths. You need to choose which track the train of your life will run on in 2026. On one side, there is the timeline of pain. It is the road you know well. It is paved with brute effort, with the belief that life is a struggle, with the repetition of family patterns, and with the constant feeling that something is missing. On this line, things are hard. Money is sweated for. Love is complicated. Health is fragile. It is the timeline of survival. On the other side, illuminated by the 1212 frequency, exists the golden timeline. This is the road of grace. Here the rule is not effort, but flow. Things are not conquered by force, they are attracted by magnetism. On this line, coincidences work in your favor. Doors open before you knock. Money comes as a consequence of service, not sacrifice. Love is light. It is the timeline of living. Today, you have the passport to jump from one line to the other, but the ticket price is high. You have to abandon your addiction to suffering. It seems absurd, but the human ego is addicted to difficulty. We were taught that suffering ennobles, that what comes easy has no value, and that we need to slay a dragon every day. The golden timeline demands that you abandon this theology of war. You need the humility to accept that life can be easy. You need the courage to accept that you deserve to be happy without having to bleed first to pay for happiness. Many reach the door of the golden line and retreat because ease seems suspicious to them. They do not trust peace. They miss the adrenaline of chaos. Do not make this mistake. Chaos served to wake you up, but it does not serve to sustain you. 12. 12 is the moment to swap struggle for art. Your life no longer needs to be a battlefield. It can be a work of art. Make the crossing, take your foot off the boat of pain, and place both feet firmly on the boat of glory. Do not look back. The version of you that needed to suffer to learn has already fulfilled its mission and stayed in the past. The version of you that learns through love and joy has just been born. The golden road is open. Walk on it. The crossing is complete. The gates of 1212 close gently behind you, locking the past in the dead archive of eternity. You didn't just leave a year behind. You left an entire version of yourself that no longer exists. Breathe deep and feel the wholeness of your being. There are no more missing pieces. There is nothing left to seek outside. The search has ended because the seeker has become the found. You have graduated. Struggle was your severe teacher, but peace is your earned diploma. Accept it without guilt. To seal this cycle, anchor your presence in the golden timeline and warn the universe that you are ready to receive your inheritance. Leave your final signature. Write in the comments, I am complete. It is done. You are whole.